about to start my workout for today. This is day 39 of my slap challenge. We have been doing at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of an ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups a day every single day except Sundays for 40 days, and we're on day 39. So including today, we are on the final 2 days of the challenge. And really this is our last workout of the challenge. Tomorrow we are going to repeat what we did on day 1 so that you can time yourself and compare your score to what you did on day 1 and see how much stronger you've gotten and see how much you have progressed over the course of this 40-day challenge. So let's go ahead and get right into the exercises we're doing today, because again, these next few days I'm just incredibly pressed for time. So as quickly as I can, which may or may not be very quick, but I'm going to do it as quickly as I can. I'm just going to walk you through the 4 exercises that I'm doing today, my squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups variations. I am not going to be going into a lot of detail about how to do the exercises with the correct form, because I just don't have time today. I am also not going to be providing equipment-free substitutions, and I am not going to be explaining and demonstrating beginner modifications. I hate not including all of that in the video, but this is just such an incredibly busy few days and I don't have time. However, it is incredibly important that you understand how to do the exercises with the correct form before you begin the workout. So if you need help with that, please just ask. Same thing goes if you need to see equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications. I am right here to help, and I will make time to help you with that. So even though I'm not going to include the equipment-free substitutions and the beginner modifications in the video, and even though I'm not going to go into detail explaining how to do each exercise with the proper form, I will always make time to help with that. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need help. So now, as quickly as I can, let me go ahead and get into these exercises so that you see what we're doing, you know what's coming up, and you can do the workout right along with me. I'm going to be starting today with my push-ups. So for my push-up variation, I'm using one 10-pound dumbbell. I'm going to be holding onto my dumbbell while in a plank position and holding onto my dumbbell while I do my push-ups. So it's very important, if you are using a dumbbell for this exercise, that your dumbbell is flat on the bottom. If your dumbbells are rounded here on the ends, please do not use them for the push-ups. I don't think it's safe. Rounded dumbbells are liable to roll around on you and you could fall and get hurt. I don't want anyone falling and getting hurt. So please, unless your dumbbells are flat on the bottom, I need you to do a different push-up variation, or really you can do the same push-up variation but with both hands flat on the floor or the ground, okay? So this is what I'm doing. I am going to be doing a reptile push-up, but I'm going to have one hand holding onto the dumbbell and the other hand flat on the floor. So what I call a reptile push-up, I think most people call it a Spider-Man push-up. But to me, Spider-Man push-ups are a completely different thing. So I call this a reptile push-up, and all it means is that I'm going to be doing a side knee tuck. So as I sink down into the push-up, one knee is going to tuck in towards my side, towards the elbow on that same side. And then as I push myself back up, I'm going to straighten the leg and return to the starting position. So I'll show you on this side. It will look like this. So this hand is holding onto the dumbbell, this hand is flat on the ground, and on the same side where I'm holding the dumbbell, that's the knee that's going to tuck to the side and in towards the shoulder, or towards the elbow on that same side as I sink down into the push-up. So it's going to look like this. Bring the knee to the elbow as you sink down, and then as you push yourself up, straighten the knee, return to your starting position. I'm going to be adding a plank toe tap before each push-up. So I'm going to take that same foot and I'm going to kick it diagonally across my body. I'm going to pick up this hand that's on the floor and I'm going to tap the toes to this hand. So this foot comes up, kicks across, tap the toes. Then I'm going to do my push-up and I'm alternating sides. So after the push-up, I'm going to pick up my dumbbell and move it to the other side. Now this hand goes flat on the ground. This hand holds onto the push-up. This hand is going to lift up. My opposite foot is going to kick across. And I'm going to tap the toes. Then I'm going to do my push-up, bringing this knee to the side, tucking to the side towards the elbow on the same side as I sink down into my push-up and then push myself back up and switch the dumbbell back to the other side, okay? So let me show you a couple of reps a little bit faster so you can see the flow of it. One hand on the ground, one hand on the dumbbell. Kick this foot across and tap the toes. Now reptile push-up on the dumbbell, and now transfer the dumbbell to the other side. So again, plank toe tap, push up on the dumbbell, and transfer the dumbbell back to the other side. For reference, and for reference only, I was using a 10-pound dumbbell for that push-up variation. So you may need to use something lighter or heavier than that. That depends on your strength and on your level of fitness. It also depends on what you have available to you and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weight and make the decision that is best for you. Just make sure your dumbbell is flat on the bottom. If you don't have dumbbells that are flat on the bottom, you can do the same push-up variation with both hands on the floor or the ground and just eliminate the passing back and forth of the dumbbell. But remember that with this challenge, if you're doing this slap challenge with me, the only requirement to participate in the challenge is just that you complete a total of at least 40 squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups every day. So as long as you're getting your 40 reps of each of those exercises done, it doesn't matter what variation you do, and it doesn't matter how you get them done. I like to incorporate my reps into a new workout every day, so I'm sharing what I'm doing today with you. I'm showing you the workout I'm doing today, but if ever the format I'm doing doesn't work for you, if the variations of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups that I'm doing don't work for you, just substitute with any variation that does work for you, okay? So really, any push-up variation you can manage is fine as long as you mind your form. Keep your hips high. Don't allow your hips to drop. Keep your head still. Don't bob your head up and down. And make sure your core is strong and tight and engaged the whole time. As long as you're minding your form, I don't care what push-up variation you do, okay? So now, next for my squat variation, I'm doing pistol squats. And for this exercise, I am holding onto a set of 5-pound dumbbells. Again, that is for reference and for reference only. You may need to use something lighter or heavier. It depends on your strength, on your level of fitness. It depends on what you have available to you and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So again, please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. I will say that for this exercise, I'm using my 5-pound dumbbells instead of my 10-pound dumbbells because I recommend using weights that feel light to you for this exercise. So these weights feel light to me. Make sure if you're going to add weight to this exercise that you choose weights that feel light to you. I do not recommend doing this exercise with heavier weights. I'm going to be doing assisted pistol squats. If you're strong enough to do unassisted pistol squats, go for it. But this is what I'm doing. I'm going to start holding my light weights down to my sides like this, and I'm going to do an assisted pistol squat. So that means I'm going to take my non-standing leg, bend the knee, and bring this foot behind me. Now I'm going to sink down into my squat using this non-standing leg as little as I can, but as much as I need. So sink down into the squat. So now I'm down here in my squat. Now I'm going to press the heel of this standing leg into the mat and stand back up. Again, using this non-standing leg as little as possible, but as much as I need to support me and help me on the way up. So reversing the movement, you're gonna stand back up. And now I'm going to do a bent over fly. So I'm going to hinge at the hips and bend over, extending that non-standing leg behind me. And now I'm going to take my weights and do a fly. So I'm just going to lift up the weights to either side of me like this. Bring the weights back down, hinge at the hips, and stand, returning to my starting position. So from this angle, it looks like this. Non-standing foot behind me, sink down into the squat, press that heel into the mat to stand, then hinging at the hips, bend over, and your fly looks like this. You're just lifting the weight straight out to the side, keeping that back flat, and then again, hinging at the hips, stand, return to your starting position. So I'm going to be doing 20 reps on each leg. That is going to be double the amount of squats required to participate in this challenge. So keep that in mind, okay? Because we are going to do this circuit twice, which means that by the end of the workout, I will have completed a total of 40 reps of pistol squats on each leg. So that's gonna be a total of 80 reps of squats all day. So if you don't want to double your reps, you can just do sets of 10 when I'm doing sets of 20. So each time through the circuit, you'll do 10 of those on one leg and then switch and do 10 on the other leg. One thing I did forget to mention is that for the pistol squats and for the lunges, it's fine if your dumbbells are rounded on the ends. And if you don't have dumbbells, you can look for household items that will work. So you can hold onto cans of soup or water bottles filled with water or uncooked rice or something like that if you want to add weight to your pistol squats and to your lunges, okay? Just don't try to do push-ups while holding onto a can of soup or a water bottle, please. Same reason, it's not flat on the bottom. It might roll around on you, you might get hurt. I don't want anyone getting hurt. So please use your common sense and be safe, okay? So for my lunge variation, I'm again using one 10-pound dumbbell. So this is my heavier dumbbell. You can use a lighter dumbbell, that's fine. Just make sure that you are considering your strength and your level of fitness and make the decision that is best for you. So I'm going to start with the dumbbell up on my shoulder like this, and I'm going to take my other foot. So the shoulder is on the side of my standing leg. I'm going to take the other foot, step it out to the side, and I'm going to take the toes of this foot and rotate them 90 degrees so that my toes are facing this wall. So the toes of this foot are facing you, these toes are facing the wall, okay? And this is my starting position. Now from this position, I'm going to pivot this foot so that now both toes are facing the wall as I sink down into my lunge, and I'm going to let the weight come down towards this front foot as I sink into my lunge. Just control the movement so you're not banging your knee into the ground. And now I'm gonna press the heel of this front foot into the ground. As I stand, I'm gonna pivot this foot back so the toes are facing you again, and I'm gonna bring the weight up to my shoulder so that I return to my starting position. Then I'm going to do an overhead press. So I'm going to straighten my arm and press the weight up overhead. And now I'm going to take this leg that's on the opposite side of my dumbbell, and I'm gonna bend the knee and bring it up. At the same time, I'm going to bring the weight down and meet the knee of this leg with the opposite elbow. And then I'll bring the weight back down to my shoulder, and that's 1 rep. So let me put it all together so you can see the flow of it. You can see what it's gonna look like. Pivot and lunge, overhead press, knee crunch. Bring the weight back down. Pivot, overhead press, crunch the knee. All right, I am again going to be doubling my reps of lunges. So I'll be doing 20 reps on one side, then I'll switch and do 20 reps on the other side. Remember, we're doing the circuit twice, so by the end of the workout, that means I will have completed a total of 40 lunges on each leg for a total of 80 reps of lunges all day. So if you don't want to double your reps of lunges, you will do a set of 10 on one side, then a set of 10 on the other side. And then after 2 rounds of the circuit, you will have completed your total of 40 lunges on the day. So you'll end up doing 20 reps on each leg. That is up to you. Okay, so that is squats, lunges, and push-ups. Let me show you my ab exercise real quickly, and then we can get right into the workout. For my ab exercise, I'm going to be holding on to 2 10-pound dumbbells. I'm going to be holding them together like this. So this is going to add a total of 20 pounds of additional weight to this exercise. You don't have to add weight. You can do the exercise without any added weight. You can hold onto 1 dumbbell like this. If you want to reduce the amount of weight that you're adding, you can hold onto lighter dumbbells. You can hold onto a can of soup or a water bottle or a jug of laundry detergent. Okay, look for household items that will work as long as you can maintain a secure grip on your weight without dropping it. And as long as it's not too heavy for you, pretty much anything will work for weight. If you don't want to add weight, you don't have to, okay? But I'm going to be holding my dumbbells together like this, starting down here on the mat. And now I'm going to lift my shoulder blades up off of the mat, and I'm going to lift my heels up off of the mat. I'm going to crunch my knees in towards my chest, and then straighten the legs. Then while I'm here, I'm going to press the weights up overhead and do a toe touch. Then I'm going to bring the weights back down to the chest and lower the legs, keeping them straight as I lower them. That's 1 rep. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep my shoulder blades lifted up off the mat the whole time if I can. It's gonna be super tough, but it's only 20 reps, so I just wanted to challenge myself today. So to put it all together, it's gonna look like this. Shoulder blades up off the mat, heels up off the mat. Knee crunch, straighten the legs, press the weights up overhead. Bring the weights up towards the toes, bring the weights back down to the chest, and then lower the legs. Knee crunch, straight legs, toe touch, and straight legs down. Okay, so without any added weight, you can just have your hands clasped behind your head, tuck the knees, straighten the legs, and lower. So crunch the knees and straight leg down. Okay, you could also add the toe touch if you want. So you could tuck the knees, straighten the legs, touch the toes, and then lower. Okay. Any variation of that exercise you want to do is fine, and remember that any ab exercise you want to do is fine. I will be crying when we get to abs because 20 reps of that exercise, the way I was showing you with all that added weight, is going to be super tough, but it's only 20 reps. So I'm just going to fight through and get it done. So that is our squat, lunges, abs, and push-ups variation that we're doing today. Now here's the format. It's super simple. Just 20 reps of everything 2 times through the circuit, okay? So I'm starting with push-ups. I'll do 20 reps of my push-up variation, alternating sides with each rep. Then I will move on to my pistol squats. So I'm going to be doing 20 reps on each leg before moving on to lunges. Again, that is double the amount of reps required to participate in the challenge. So if you are participating in my slap challenge and you don't want to double your reps, you will do 10 reps of pistol squats on each side before moving on to lunges. Same thing with lunges. I'll be doing 20 reps on each leg before moving on to my ab exercise. So if you don't want to double your reps, you can do 10 reps on each leg. Then we'll move on to abs, 20 reps of our ab exercise. And then you just have to repeat the whole thing once more to get in your 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups on the day. However, I am going to be incorporating about 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope by doing 10 sets of 100 with my jump rope in between rounds 1 and 2. The additional cardio is completely optional, so if you don't want to do the additional cardio, just do the circuit twice through and you're done. Okay, so after round 1, you'll just skip ahead in the video about 20 minutes, do round 2 with me, and then that's your workout. If you do want to include the additional cardio but you don't have a jump rope, the jump rope section, 20 sets of 100, sorry, I think I might have said 10, 20 sets of 100 with my jump rope is gonna take me plus or minus like somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 minutes or so. So you can always just substitute with 20 minutes of any other kind of cardio exercise you wanna do. So if you have a treadmill or an exercise bike or an elliptical, you can hop on one of those for 20 minutes. You could go for a jog, so 2 miles, 5K, that would be fine. You could go up and down the stairs. If you have a heavy bag, that would be great. You could do 20 minutes, work on the heavy bag for 20 minutes. You can shadow box. You really can even just pretend to jump rope with me. It might sound silly, but they actually sell jump ropes without the rope. It's 2 handles that you hold on to while you jump over an imaginary rope. So I really think you can do that while holding on to imaginary handles, okay? And you can just pretend to jump rope. Any type of cardio exercise you want to do is fine, about 20 minutes, okay? If you do have a jump rope, remember any style of jump rope you want to do is great. I always just kind of jog in place like this while I'm jumping rope. But if you're more comfortable jumping with your feet together, jump with your feet together. If you're really good at jump rope, you can do a more challenging variation, jump rope jacks, high knees, you can jump on one leg. Anything you want to do is fine. The only important thing is that we're counting revolutions of the rope. So when I say a set of 100, I mean 100 revolutions of the rope. Okay, so you'll count 100 revolutions of the rope, that's 1 set. And we're gonna do 20 sets like that. It's tough, it takes about 20 minutes, but that's gonna be our cardio for today. So if you wanna skip it, you can skip it. If you wanna do it, you can jump rope with me, 20 sets of 100 with the jump rope, or you can do 20 minutes of any other kind of cardio exercise you want. Again, if anything is unclear about the format, remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and you're gonna watch me do it right now. But of course, if there are any questions, if anything is unclear, if you need help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications. If you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, ask, and I will do whatever I can to help, please, okay? So, I really need to get into this. I hope I covered everything. Let me take a minute to kind of center myself and take a couple of deep breaths, and then we'll go ahead and get right into it. Just remember, if you are going to be working out along with the video, 2 things. Go at your own pace and mind your form. Never sacrifice your form for speed. So I'm going to try to finish this workout in under 1 hour. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what I'm going for. It will probably end up taking me closer to 90 minutes. But even though I'm trying to get through the workout as quickly as I can, I'm not going to race through the exercises, and I'm not going to race through the workout at the expense of my form. So only go as quickly as you can without losing anything off of your form. If that's faster than I am, great. Then you can always skip ahead in the video. If you're slower than I am, that's fine, okay? You can always pause the video until you catch up, but don't race through the exercises to try to keep up with me if you need more time. And don't continue on to the next exercise before you feel that you are ready to do so with the proper form just because you're trying to keep up with me, okay? If you need longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, pause the video and come back when you're ready. And if you need to go through the exercises themselves more slowly than I am moving, then just go at your own pace. If you fall behind, you can pause the video and come back once you've caught up, okay? So mind your form, go at your own pace. And now, if you are ready to start this workout with me, what do we need today? Grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat or a towel, something you can lie down on comfortably for your ab exercise. Grab 1 or 2 sets of dumbbells if you have a lighter set and a heavier set. You could also use household items like cans of soup or water bottles if you want to add weight. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're using one, take a minute to make sure you're good and warmed up, and when you're ready, let's get started. All right, getting right into it. We're starting with our push-up variation, 20 reps, alternating sides. Watch us going. I'm starting my timer. So now, plank toe tap, reptile push-up, transfer the dumbbell to the other side. Plank toe tap, reptile push-up, transfer the dumbbell. That's 2. We're going to 20. Do your best. That's 10. I have to do 10 more. This is an exercise I've done before, but I've never done it with one hand on the dumbbell. And I'm surprised at how much difficulty it adds to the plank toe tap as much as the push-up itself, because it's just kind of hard to shift your balance onto the dumbbell for that plank toe tap. Well, I'm finding it hard. So it's an adjustment, it's a new exercise, so my body's still kind of learning it. So I'm taking a rest here because I need to regain some strength, and I want to slow down my heart rate and my breathing a little bit, also because I'm trying to kind of give my brain a chance to understand what just happened and what we're doing right now, and let it kind of sink in, so that hopefully these next 10 reps will be a little cleaner, and my brain will kind of understand the movement a little better, if that makes sense. All right, it does make sense. I have to stop saying if that makes sense. What I said makes perfect sense. All right, so 10 more reps. So that was 20. I'm glad I took that rest break halfway through the set. Obviously, this is day 39. This is our 5th long, tough workout this week. So my arms are fatigued, my arms, shoulders, legs, everything is tired. So I did partly just need a physical rest, but I'm really glad I took that rest because I do feel like it made a big difference. Kind of, like I said, letting the exercise kind of sink into my brain because it's a new exercise. Those last 10 reps for me felt much cleaner, but much more balanced. Like I was really able to get more out of those reps because the movement was more under control, because my brain and my body kind of understood what we were doing a little better. So I was able to really control the movement. It made a big difference. So I'm glad I took that rest. All right, so now I'm switching to my lighter set of weights. This is our pistol squat, assisted pistol squat, unless you're strong enough to do 20 unassisted pistol squats on each leg. I am not. So this is my assisted pistol squat with a bent over fly. I'm gonna do 20 reps on one leg and then 20 reps on the other leg. So that's double the requirement if you're participating in the challenge. You can cut these reps in half if you want. I will tell you that this is an exercise that always takes way longer than I think it's going to take, like way longer. So strap in. We're gonna be doing this for a minute. Okay, so here we go. Lift the foot of the non-standing leg behind you and now sink into the pistol squat using that non-standing leg as little as possible, but as much as you need. Now hinging at the hips. Bend over fly. Press the heel of that standing leg into the ground. Return to your starting position. That's one. That's 5. I'm taking a little rest break. Because this standing leg and foot, I always feel this exercise in the foot of my standing leg. You really want to imagine that you have roots growing out of the bottom of your foot and into the ground. Rooting yourself into the ground, it's going to help you, hopefully help you stay balanced, but it's also going to help you really make sure that you're activating the muscles in your feet. You want to activate all the muscles of the standing leg all the way from your foot down, up to through your legs into your glutes, okay? So I find that visual of roots growing out of my foot and into the ground helps me do that, but where is it? It's really fatiguing for my foot because I'm sure I don't work the muscles in my feet enough. I don't think most people do. So, all right. Next 5 reps. When you're ready. So that's 10 for me. You can switch sides here if you want, remember. I'm gonna do another 10 reps on this leg before moving on to the other leg. So obviously I'm breaking these down to sets of 5 because that's what I need to do. But I am going to try to keep the rest breaks in between sets shorter than that first one because these already take so long. It's just not an exercise that you can rush. So even if you're not breaking it up into sets of 5, and even if you're not taking rest breaks in between, it still just takes a minute to get these done. So be patient. We've done 10, we have to do 10 more. So that's 15 for me. Just 5 more to go on this leg. That's 20. So that alone took me like 10 minutes, okay? Just that one leg. So I told you these always take me so much longer than I think they're going to. And every time I do this exact same exercise, I convince myself that I can do it faster, but every time in the back of my mind, I know it's gonna take this long. It's just a tough exercise. You can't really rush it. And for me, it's so difficult that I always have to just break it up and take rest breaks, which makes it take even longer. I also typically spend a lot more time wobbling and fighting for my balance than I did on that during that first set of 20. So that makes it take even longer. I will say that it is always my inclination to start on my stronger side. This is my stronger leg. And I never think about it until after I've already done my first set. So now I'm going to be on my weaker leg. So it's going to be more difficult to do the pistol squat, and it's going to be more difficult to balance on my weaker leg just because it's my weaker leg, but also because now I'm fatigued and because my brain has just gotten used to doing one thing. I've just, I figured out how to balance on one side and now we're switching it. So these first few reps might be a little bit of a train wreck. I might be just wobbling all over the place and have to keep redoing them. I might fall out of my my position when I'm doing my bent over fly. So I'm just gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best, like physically, to do the exercise well, and I'm also going to do my best to just be patient with myself. So just a reminder that these first few reps especially might be super difficult. They might feel awkward. It might be really challenging to find your balance. So just do your best. All right, other leg, 20 reps, when you're ready. So obviously much more of a struggle for me on this weaker leg. That was my first 5 reps, and really I think only 1 or 2 of them was really clean. So taking a rest break here before I start my next set of 5. My leg, all the way from my foot up to my glutes on this side, is fatigued. So I need the physical rest, but also, again, it's that same thing. I'm trying to give my brain a few seconds to kind of process what we just did, what we're doing, that we've switched sides, and now I have to figure out how to balance on the other leg. So hopefully, these next 5 reps can be a little cleaner. Just do your best, and remember to be patient with yourself. This is a difficult exercise. We're doing a lot of reps. So just do your best. All right. Picking up my count at 6, I'm going to hopefully do another 5 unbroken, and hopefully I can make them a bit cleaner than the first 5. When you're ready, here we go. All right, so that was rep number 10. The first couple of reps were cleaner, but the second 3, or the last 3, I was still struggling just about as much with my balance and with fatigue in this leg. So you can see me already kind of using my non-standing leg a lot more. That's fine, that's why they're assisted pistol squats. So really do your best to make your standing leg work as much as you possibly can. The goal is to not have to use that non-standing leg at all. But obviously, it's there to use as much as you need it. The other thing I was saying is that I had a couple of balance checks. So after standing from the squat and before doing my bent over row, sometimes I had to tap that foot down just to check my balance. Or in between reps, I had to tap it down for a second. So obviously it's fine if you have to tap your foot down and check your balance. I'm not recommending that you just like fall over. So if you need to check your balance, you check your balance, but the goal is to keep that non-standing foot off the ground the entire time, if you can. In between the pistol squat and the bent over fly and in between reps. Obviously it's gonna touch the ground as you're down into the squat, but other than that, you're trying to keep it lifted the whole time if you can. That's the goal. All right, so I'm picking up my count at 10. That was a long rest break, so I am holding on to hope that I can string together 5 nice clean reps. Just do your best. As soon as you're ready, let's go for 5 more if we can. So find that balance. 15. I did warn you that this probably was going to take me 90 minutes today, right? At this point, I'm hoping I could even finish in 90 minutes, but this exercise, it's already taken me 20 minutes just to do this one exercise, and I still have 5 reps left to go. So, I told you every time I do them, I convince myself I can do them fast, but guys, my legs and glutes are so fatigued from all the tough workouts we've been doing this week and from all that extra like glute work we did yesterday. Yeah, my legs are feeling it. All right, 5 more reps, do your best. We are almost finished with these, here we go. That's 19, I have just one more. And 20. That last rep was nice. So there's that. Gotta take the small victories. All right. Sorry, I know those were super tough. Hopefully you got through them faster than I did, but they're done for now. We're ready to move on. So next is going to be my lunges. Again, I'm doubling these. So I'm going to do 20 reps on one side, then 20 reps on the other side. So you can do 10 reps on each side if you prefer. Just giving myself a few extra seconds to recover from the pistol squats. Stretch out my feet a little. Because we're gonna have to do, remember, we're gonna have to do 20 more reps of those on each side in round 2. So, all right. Shake it out. When you're ready, so these are those pivot lunges with an overhead press, and then I'm adding a little oblique knee crunch. So weight up by the shoulder. Step one foot out, and now pivot and lunge, overhead press, oblique knee crunch. Bring the weight back down to the shoulder, that's 1 rep. That's 2, I'm going to 20. You can go to 10 if you prefer. Do your best. That's 10. So you can switch legs now if you want. If you want to continue on with me, I'm going to do 10 more on this leg. That's 20. So now other leg. So bring the weight up to the other shoulder. Step this foot out to the side and point the toes towards the wall. And now pivot, body lunge, overhead press, oblique knee crunch, bring the weight back down. That's 1 rep. We're doing 20, do your best. So that's 10. If you're not doubling your reps, go ahead and move on to abs. If you are doubling your reps with me, we're going to do 10 more before we move on. When you're ready, here we go. so now this tough ab exercise. Why I decided to add 20 pounds of weight to this, I don't know. This is gonna be really rough. It's only 20 reps, so I'm gonna do my best. It's likely that I'll have to break these down into sets of 5 because 20 pounds of weight added to this exercise is just gonna be so taxing for me. Especially, like I said, this is day 39, you guys, so I know we're all exhausted at this point. We've all been working so hard. But this really is our final workout of the challenge, so let's push through. Let's make it a good one. Let's make it a challenging one, okay? So whatever version of this ab exercise you're doing, or whatever version of any other ab exercise you're doing, we're gonna do 20 reps. All right, when you're ready. So I'm lifting my shoulder blades off the mat. Crunch the knees, straighten the legs, chest press, toe touch, lower the weights, and then lower the legs back down, keeping them straight, and doing my best to keep my shoulder blades and my heels lifted off the mat the whole time. I'm counting that as my first rep. So let me do 4 more unbroken if I can, and then I'll see if I can continue. I think it's more likely that I'm gonna need to do sets of 5 with these. So counting that as my first rep, here we go. 4 more. Okay, so that was 5. I might have been able to keep going for a couple more reps, but I don't think I would have gotten to 10 before I needed to stop and rest. So I think the most efficient way for me to get these done as quickly as I can without losing anything off of my form is to do sets of 5, because I'm pacing myself to do 20 total reps. So I'll try to keep the rest breaks as short as I can. All right, let me see if I have enough strength to continue on and do another 5 reps unbroken. So that's 10. These are just super taxing. My abs are working really hard. We did a lot of ab work yesterday, and I have weak abs, so I did tell you that I was gonna be crying when we got to abs, and I didn't lie. This is me crying through my ab exercise, but I'm halfway done. I'm breaking these down into 4 sets of 5. I've completed 2 sets of 5, so I have to do 2 more. So let me go for another 5 unbroken if I can. If I can't continue doing unbroken sets of 5, then I'll just do what I can. I'll do 3 reps and then rest and then do another 2. All right, do your best when you're ready. Here we go. 15. Almost finished with round 1. Just 5 more reps to go. You guys, I'm sorry, this is so long and so tough. I should have done a short, easy workout for today, but that's just not my style. All right. If you started out holding 2 weights, remember you can always drop down to 1. You can hold 1 dumbbell like this. You can switch to lighter weights. You can drop the weight. I showed you an equipment-free modification, so do what works for you. Obviously your workout will go a lot faster if you drop the weight. So I'm just choosing to sacrifice that time so that I can keep the added difficulty, keep the additional weight, so it's slowing me down a lot, but that's just my choice. So you do it however you want. If you want to move more quickly, you can drop the weight, and that way you'll get your reps done a lot faster. So this is our final set of 5. Was that 18 or 19? Rep. I feel like I lost count somewhere in the middle of that last little mini set of 5. I finished what I thought was rep 19, but then I thought maybe it was rep 18, so I just did 2 more. You know me, once I get that thought in my head that I might have miscounted, I will not be able to get past it until I scratch that itch on my brain by doing another rep. So I'd rather know that it's possible I did 21 reps rather than wondering if I might have done only 19 reps. You know what I mean? All right, we're already 45 minutes in, you guys. So even if I fly through this jump rope section, that's still gonna be over an hour. And we still have to do our slap reps again. So this is definitely going to take me more than 90 minutes. So if you want to skip this cardio section so that you can just go ahead and get through your second round of slap reps so you can get on with your day, that's fine. If you want to shorten up this cardio section, maybe make it 10 minutes instead of 20, then you can do 10 minutes of cardio either on your treadmill, exercise bike. You can run for a mile or 2 miles instead of 2 or 3 miles. You can do 10 sets of 100 instead of 20, which is what I'm doing, okay? So make the decision that's best for you, but I'm going to be doing 20 sets of 100 with my jump rope. So it's going to take me around 20 minutes. It'll probably take me a little longer than 20 minutes because I am so tired. My glutes and my quads and just everything is just so like, they've been working hard. Everybody's been working hard. This is day 39 of the challenge. So I'm gonna do my best to get my feet up and over the rope, to do these sets of 100 as cleanly as I can, and to keep the rest breaks in between sets as short as I can. Okay, so do your best. We're aiming to keep this at about 20 minutes or so. So by the time I'm finished with my jump rope section, let's say I'm trying to be at about an hour, 7 minutes-ish, okay? That's my goal. So do your best. if you trip over your jump rope, just be patient with yourself. You don't have to start the whole set over. Just take a deep breath. Try to leave it behind you. Try not to let the frustration dictate your mindset moving forward, because we still have a lot of workout left in front of us, and you don't want to sabotage the whole rest of the workout by letting that frustration just kind of overtake you and kind of dictate your mindset. So if you trip over your jump rope, it's fine. You do not have to start the whole set of 100 over. Take a deep breath. Do your best to leave the trip behind you and just get right back into it as soon as you can, picking up your count where you left off, okay? So be patient with yourself, do your best. When you're ready, let's go ahead and start our first set of 100. So any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're counting revolutions of the rope. So you'll count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I tripped on like rep 80. I'm gonna take a breath and get right back into it. Picking up my count at 80, so I'm gonna do another 20 reps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, and 100, okay? So that is my first set of 100. I'm marking down a little slash so that I can keep track of how many sets I've done. I need to do that 19 more times. So it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be a little bit of a slog. It's gonna take about 20 minutes. So do your best. I'm trying to keep the rest breaks in between sets as short as I can. So I'm gonna really try to zip it, focus, and just knock out this cardio section as quickly as I can. So here we go, set number 2. So I know I just finished telling you that if you trip over your jump rope, you don't have to start the set over, but that last set I did start it over because I tripped on rep like number 10. My threshold is usually 20 reps. So if I trip over my jump rope before I have even completed 20 reps, I usually will start the set over. But that's just my own personal preference. It's your call. You really don't have to start over, but if I trip on rep 10 like I did in that last set, I would really rather just take a breath and start the set over, because I would much rather string together a clean set of 100 if I can. And since I just started the set, I might as well just start over and give it another try, okay? If I'm deeper into the set, then I'll pick up my count where I left off, but if I trip before I have even completed 20 reps, then I usually just start the set over. So anyway, these rest breaks in between sets are way too long. Let's try to tighten it up. I really need to zip it. We have so much more left to do. Okay, here we go, set number 3. so that was set number 5. I'm a quarter of the way through. I know 20 sets in a row is hard. Just do your best. Take it one set at a time. Here we go. All right, that was set number 10. halfway there. Keep pushing with me, okay? I know it's getting hard. We're already on the second half. That was set number 15. We're almost there. Just 5 sets left to go. Let's keep pushing. That was set number 19. Just one more to go. We made it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, picking up my count at 70, and again, 80, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. All right. So our cardio section is done. It's just over 108. So I did manage to keep my jump rope section under 20 minutes. Happy about that. It definitely could have been a little tighter. I wasted a lot of time those first 2 or 3 sets of 100, and I tripped over my jump rope more than I would have liked. I mean, anything is more than I would like, but overall, I'm happy with that. I'm happy I got it done. Cardio's done. Now, we have to do our second round of slap reps. So, it's gonna be tough. Let's do our best. Starting again at the top with push-ups. So if you did round 1 with added weight, but you are too fatigued to continue with weight, remember that you can do your push-ups with both hands flat on the floor of the ground, and you can eliminate that little transfer of the dumbbell back and forth, okay? Any push-up variation you want to do is fine. I'm going to be sticking with my plank toe tap reptile push-up with one hand on the dumbbell, 20 reps alternating sides. So do your best. I'm going to try to complete my first 10 reps without taking a rest break if I can. If you need a longer rest break before we start round 2 so that you can towel off and get something to drink and let your heart rate come down a little bit, pause the video, come back when you are ready. We're gonna start round 2. So here we go. So that was 10 reps for me. That was rough. So in round 1, I was able to get through my second half, my second set of 10 unbroken. That's not happening this round. I'm just out of strength. So I'm going to try to do 6 if I can, unbroken, and then I'll take a short little rest break, finish up with my last 4. When I do an exercise like this where I'm alternating sides with each rep, I always try to pause on an even number so I don't have to tax my brain any further with trying to remember which side I left off on, because I want to make sure I end up even, doing the same amount of reps on both sides. So that's why instead of doing 5 and 5, I like to do 6 and 4, but if you're smarter than I am, and you can remember which side you were on, then you can do 5 and 5. If you don't need to break it up, you can do all 10 without stopping, but that first set of 10 wasn't the cleanest, it wasn't the prettiest, and I was really struggling, so I think I'm just gonna go for 6 here if I can. And then I'll take a little rest break before finishing up with my final 4 reps. Okay, when you're ready, just do your best. That was 16. I'm gonna try to keep going. Maybe I can do 2 more. It's 18. 2 more. Don't forget on your final rep to do that transfer of the dumbbell over to the other side, because even though you don't need it there to do another rep, it is part of the exercise. And again, you want to end up even on both sides. So remember on rep 20 to still pick up the dumbbell and move it to the other side after you've done your push-up. All right, so grabbing my lighter set of weights, and moving on to my pistol squats. So I'm at almost an hour 16. So if these take me a solid 20 minutes like they did in round 1, I'm gonna be at an hour 36-ish by the time we're through with these. So it's gonna definitely end up taking me longer than 90 minutes, this workout. So I'm just going to keep it as close to 90 minutes as I can. I'm going to keep pushing myself as hard as I can to keep it moving, but I'm not going to sacrifice my form for speed, and I'm going to be patient because I know that this exercise is going to take me a solid 20 minutes. So, again, settle in. 20 reps on each leg, here we go. That's my first 5 reps. If you're stronger than I am and you don't need to rest, then don't rest. But I'm going to break these up into little mini sets of 5 until I can no longer do unbroken sets of 5, and then I'll start doing 3 and 2. All right? I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get the reps done, but I'll get them done. Go away. Go away. All right. Going for another 5. So even if you did 20 of these on each leg in the first round, first of all, if you've done that, you've already met your squat obligation for the day if you're doing the challenge with me. So you really don't have to do pistol squats at all this round if you've already done 40 total reps. The other thing is that you can switch legs now. That's up to you, whether you did 10 reps on each leg in round 1 or 20 reps on each leg in round 1. Either way, if you want to move on, you can move on to the other leg. I'm going to do 2 more little mini sets of 5 before I move on. So when you're ready, let's start our next set of 5, picking up my count at 10. That's 11. The pistol squat was fine, so that's why I didn't redo the whole rep. I just did the part of the rep that needed redoing. So that's 12 for me. $13. $14. Kind of feels like these are going faster this round, are they? I don't know. My foot is still killing me on this side. Everything's killing me. All right. I'm still mindfully doing my best to use my non-standing leg as little as possible. I know I'm using it a lot more than I did in round one, but I am really, really, really working this standing leg as much as I possibly can. So make sure you're using that supporting foot as little as you can. Here we go. Last 5 reps on this leg. That was 20. I'm counting that last rep even though I was wobbly on the bent over fly. I felt that it had enough integrity to count it. I don't feel like it was sloppy enough that I needed to redo it. So every rep is not going to be exactly 100% picture perfect. That's just not reality. So you need to decide if the rep was clean enough that you want to count it, if you feel that you had enough control over the movement, enough integrity behind the movement that you got out of that rep what you were wanting to get out of it, or if it was too wobbly, too sloppy, if the movement was too out of control and you don't feel like you were really getting the benefit out of the exercise, then you have to decide where that threshold is for yourself, whether or not you need to redo the rep, okay? That final rep wasn't perfect. I was wobbly, but it was good enough for me to count it. So you see the reps that aren't good enough for me to count, I redo them, but that one I think was fine. All right, so we're done on this leg. Now switching to the other leg. I'm going to, again, stick with sets of 5 as long as I can continue to do sets of 5 unbroken. So when you're ready, roll those shoulders back and down. Make sure the weight is staying over the heel of your standing foot. And make sure you're using that supporting leg as little as you can. Really make that standing leg work. Do as much of the work as you possibly can, both on the way down and here on the way up from your squat. First 5 reps. It's always more of a challenge on this leg. It always feels like a slog on this leg. It's like I'm moving so much slower on this leg And I'm having to fight so much harder for my balance. I'm having to fight so much harder because this leg is weaker. But those reps were pretty clean, considering. If you compare that to what I did when I switched to my weaker leg on round 1, those might have taken longer, but they were way cleaner, so I'm happy about that. So that's my first 5 reps. I'm gonna go for another 5. That's 10. These are just so incredibly tough for me on this leg. Especially 90 minutes into the workout. 39 days into the challenge. I'm really, really working this standing leg as hard as I possibly can. So I could go a lot faster if I used my non-standing leg more than I needed to. So like, if I wanted to really rely on this standing leg, I could put it down earlier and I could use it to push myself up. You see how fast I can do it when I use this non-standing leg more than I need. But when I really push myself to use my non-standing leg as little as I possibly can, you see how much it slows me down because this standing leg is having to struggle so hard. So just continue to be mindful of that. I know it takes a long time and I know it's hard, so just do your best, but really try to continue to make this standing leg do as much of the work as it can. So 5 more reps. lunges are so hard, you guys. We're almost done. We have just 5 more reps to go. Unless you are smarter than I am and you've moved on already. Or faster than I am. But if you're doubling these reps with me, and you're still with me, working at my pace, then we have just 5 more. All right? So when you're ready, let's go for it. Final 5 reps. It's 18, just 2 more. Push. That's 19. Last one. We finally made it. And 20. Those are so hard. They always take me so much longer than I want and so much longer than I think they're going to take. Like each and every time I do that exact same exercise the exact same way with the exact same amount of weight, I always think I'm going to get through it faster than I really know that I am going to get through it. All right, we're at 1 hour 36. So I actually think that was faster than round 1, which is fantastic. You guys, our cardio is done. Jump rope is all done. Squats are done. Push-ups are done. All we have left to do is lunges and abs. So we're right there. All right, let's keep pushing. Right into lunges when you're ready. That's 10. So if you're not doubling your lunges, switch to the other leg, do another 10 reps, and then move on to abs. If you're doubling your lunges with me, we're gonna do 10 more on this side before moving on to the other side. knee tuck because one of those reps towards the end, rep like 17 or 18. I wasn't really thrilled with my knee tuck. I didn't really feel like I had control over the movement, but I didn't redo it. And then the next rep was even sloppier, so I redid the knee tuck, and then I decided I might as well go ahead back and fix that other sloppy one. So that's why I did an extra little knee tuck at the end. All right, switching legs. For me, another 20 reps. You can stop at 10 if you prefer. All right, as soon as you're ready, we're getting there. That's 10. So you can move on to abs if you want. If you're doubling the reps of lunges with me, we have to do 10 more. We're so close. Let's keep pushing. All right, that was 20. Finally made it. To the last exercise. 20 reps of abs. So I'm sticking with this, super tough. All of the exercises in this workout are tough. I think the lunges are probably the easiest of all four, but even those lunges are pretty tough, especially with a 10-pound weight. If you're not adding weight or if you're using a lighter weight, it's going to make it a lot easier, but for sure these abs are just killer. So again, I'm going to do sets of 5. So as soon as you're ready, That's 5. Again, I don't necessarily feel like I need to rest quite yet, but I know how quickly these sets of 5 can start to feel impossible. I'm pacing myself for 20 reps total, so again, I think the most efficient way for me to get there is sets of 5. But I think I can keep this rest break pretty short, so let's go ahead and start on our next 5 when you're ready. It's hard because there's an upper body component added to all of the push-ups, the squats, lunges, and abs. I think that was also the case yesterday. I think it's been the case for most of the workouts this week. The workouts this week have been long and tough, and this is the 5th one in a row. So I know it's hard, but we just have 2 more little mini sets of 5 to go. So let's keep pushing. That was 11. 12. 13. 14. And 15. All right. So now, by rep 15, my abs are really, really killing me. So let me check my timer. I'm at 147.20. I just have 5 reps left to go. I want to get them done as quickly as possible, so I think if I took a longer rest break, I could string together another 5 unbroken, but I want to go ahead and get started, so I might just do 3 and then take a short little rest and finish up my last 2. But I want to get these done, so here we go. Picking up my count at 15. 16. 17. 18. Just gonna take about 15-20 seconds. I'm not looking at my timer, I'm just going by feel. Just enough time until I feel like I have enough strength to do just these final 2 reps. That's 19. That's 20. All right. I know it's tempting to just collapse in a heap on the mat and cry. That's what I feel like doing. But gotta get up, move around, walk around a little bit, shake it off. that whole thing took me 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 54 seconds. I would have loved, like I said in the beginning, to finish it in under an hour. I also knew that that was not really realistic. I thought it was going to take me closer to 90 minutes, and it ended up taking me 90 minutes plus 19 minutes, almost. So I missed my time goal, but this workout was so hard. You know me, you guys, you know I like to finish strong. I could have written an easier workout for today, especially after all of the long, tough workouts we've done this week. But it feels good to finish strong. I really like pushing myself. I was pushing myself hard to get through this workout today, and I feel great that I got it done. It was long and it was tough, but it's done, or almost done. So we have to do our bonus burpee still, and I still have to do my McFlurry minute. But since year 1 of the challenge, days 36, 37, 38, and 39, after each of those 4 workouts for those days 36 through 39, I have done an extra set of 10 push-ups after the workout. I'm not going to get into the reasons why now. I did go into the reasons why, I think, on the day 36 workout. So if you're curious, you can ask me, or you can watch the workout from day 36, I think it was. That's when I explained why I do this. But every year of the challenge, this is the 5th year in a row I've done this challenge. And every year since year 1, 2020, I have done an extra set of 10 push-ups after the workout on days 36 through 39. So the push-up variation that I do for my extra 10 reps is the same push-up variation that I did during that workout. So today I was doing, I only need 1 dumbbell for this. Today I was doing this super tough plank toe tap plus a reptile push-up on the dumbbell, and then passing the dumbbell over to the other side. So I'm going to do that for my push-up variation, and I'm going to do 10 reps. So if you would like to join me, you don't have to. This is not technically part of the workout. It is not technically part of the challenge. But if you want to finish strong with me and do an extra 10 reps, why not? If not, you can just watch me do them. But I'm doing 10 more reps of this tough push-up exercise. Two. 3. 4. 5 more. 6. 7. 8. 9. 1 more. 10. Those are so hard. But they're done. So now, you know that no workout of mine is ever officially complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. But first, it is time for the McFlurry minute. I'm going to reset my timer to count down 60 seconds for me. I am going to complete as many revolutions with my jump rope as I can in 60 seconds, and if I can make it through the entire 60-second work interval without tripping over my jump rope, everybody wins a free McFlurry. So, Give me just a minute to reset my timer. I will be right back. All right, timer is reset. I'm ready to go. Victoria is up again today. We're going for 3 in a row, 3 days in a row of free ice cream. So wish me luck, starting with a 10-second rest interval. And now we are going to jump rope for 60 seconds without tripping. Mark my words, this is gonna be a good one. Watch this, here we go. I knew it. I knew this was going to be a good one. I could feel it. I'm always counting the reps in my head, so I always know when I'm getting close, because when my minute is up and my timer beeps, I'm always right around rep 170 or so. So I'm counting and I get close to 170. I'm always like, come on, come on, come on, you're so close, don't trip. But once the timer beeps, since I've already done like 170 reps, I always just keep going and do an extra 30 reps just to make it an even 200. So that's why I keep going after the beep. But nothing after that beep matters. The only thing that matters is what happens in that McFlurry minute. And in that McFlurry minute, I didn't trip over my jump rope, Victoria, and I did it. So everybody gets a free McFlurry on Victoria and me. You're welcome. Whew. All right, I need it today. It's warming up, and you guys, that was such a long, tough workout. So a free McFlurry will be a very welcome addition to my afternoon. All right. Excellent. That was 3 in a row. So now we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. Final rep of the day. When you're ready, here we go. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. This workout was so hard, oh my God. It was so hard, and it was so much longer than I wanted it to be, but it's done. You guys, that's a wrap on day 39. We finally made it to the end. Tomorrow is day 40, the last day of the challenge. I'm so excited. So thank you to everyone who's been doing this challenge with me. If you did this workout with me today, whether or not you're doing the challenge, thank you so very much. You rock. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Let me know how long it took you. Thank you to everyone who's been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It means the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. I appreciate you all very much. One final reminder, if anything is unclear about the format of today's workout, how all the exercises fit together, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, if you need any help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, please just ask. I am always here to help with that. That is gonna do it for day 39. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 40, the last day of the challenge. But before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is pretty sneaky, sis. So if you are still watching this video, hello. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, pretty sneaky, sis. That is gonna do it for today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.